Do it. Let's rock.
All right, then.
It's live, so as soon as...
Welcome back to the California Winter League for Game 2 of 3 here on opening day in beautiful Palm Springs Stadium in Palm Springs, California. It is a crisp 75 degrees outside, a little bit of wind, but it is just an absolutely perfect day for baseball. Josh Sperber here with Mitchell Glessner, and we've got another Canadian versus American matchup. The Canada A's taking on the Palm Springs Chill here in Palm Springs Stadium. And after a barn burner of a first game, Mitch, what do you think we can expect from the second contest?
Well, we'll find out here shortly as we're just about to get underway. First pitch.
That's the first pitch from Kunimasa Suzuki at exactly 12 noon. And that is going to be in there for a strike on the bottom corner for Chandler Pallius. The Palm Springs Chill, the road team in their white uniforms, going white on white today. And red tops, white bottoms for the Canada A's. In traditional Canadian colors, as that one misses outside. Count 1-1 to Pallius.
Just to continue on what I was going to finish up there, Josh, these guys are all just trying to get their feet wet today and play some baseball, get back into the swing of things, get their reps in. That's what these guys come out here for in the winter time. Get your reps in, get your at-bats, find the strike zone if you're a pitcher, and hopefully put your game to the next level.
Suzuki missing the strike zone there. 2-1 count to Pallius. 4 pitches for Suzuki. It seems the Japanese pitchers have a deeper arsenal than a lot of their American compatriots here. A 4-seam, a slider, a curve, and a splitter. Some other Japanese players with a nasty splitter. Guys like Shohei Ohtani is the first one I think of. Those right-handers, that just heavy drop on the splitter, which is what we're seeing from Suzuki. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And it did not hit off the bat of Pallius, so they're going to rule that a drop third strike.
I thought I heard a foul tip.
I did too.
But
the home plate umpire, Steve Bartelstein, is not objecting for Pallius to remain on first base. So
Number 29.
Pallius will stay on first. It would have been a strike 3 called.
just to kind of echo what you were going with there, Josh, with the split change. Very many variations that you can throw with the changeup. Lots of guys like to go with the circle change just because it's the easiest to grip, but the splitter will have the nastiest action to it. But a lot of guys just really can't feel for that grip. It's a unique grip, obviously, the split finger. It speaks for itself. Your fingers are wide across the baseball, very hard to grip, but boy, if you throw a good one, it's going to disappear is what we like to call it.
And guys like John Smoltz really helped bring that pitch to the forefront back in the 90s, but Shohei Ohtani today does it better than anyone in the major leagues. A player that Suzuki idolizes. Off on the first pitch is Pallius. The throw to second is there in time, but a little late on the tag was the shortstop Walker Pass. So a stolen base for Pallius, his first of the season. And ball 1 to A.J. Pollock in his third year here in the CWL.
Yeah, and like that first game, Josh, we're seeing these base runners get aggressive leads, aggressive secondaries, and they are not afraid to run here in these first 2 games.
And just a lot of guys with serious wheels playing in the CWL. As Pallius is taking a lead off second, almost directly behind the base umpire, Nate Dietrich, who is standing right in line almost with the shortstop behind the pitcher's mound. Count even at 1-1 to A.J. Pollock, New York native, recently graduated from Hofstra University. Suzuki checks back to second, trying to keep Pallius on, who's dancing in between the bags, deals, curveball, late break close to the plate, but still going to call that a ball is Steve Bartelstein, 2-1 count to Pollock.
Just kind of checking out the field here, Josh. Left fielder looks like he's playing pretty deep. Standard outfield as Pius gets his lead, checking the outfield, trying to score on a base hit.
The 2-1. Way outside and a diving stop by the catcher to save it. but no throw home, or to third, I should say. And Pallius will advance. Colton Traeger behind the plate, possibly saves a run with the wheels of Pallius.
Yeah, and he made it look a lot easier than it is. That is a tough play as a catcher there to go to the backhand. He didn't have enough time to get the full chest in front of it, so he just went with the pick and the scoop there, and he was successful with it. Probably saved a run.
3-1 count now to Pollock. Suzuki deals. That one misses wide. And Pollock will head to first base with the free pass. So we'll give that a stolen base for Chandler Pallius. He was off on the pitch.
Batting third, Holmes breaks chill.
And it is runners on the corners for the number 3 hitter in Gavin Jones. Jones was here before just about any other player. Saw him getting some work in on the turf field right behind Palm Springs Stadium. Little preseason workout as he's getting ready for this CWL season. For those of you unfamiliar with the California Winter League, it is geared towards younger players trying to make a name for themselves, get recruited by the numerous Frontier League, Atlantic League, and Major League scouts that will be showing up all month long here in beautiful Palm Springs. Runner goes on the pitch, and holding it is Traeger, so a free stolen base for A.J. Pollock. No throw, and that was something we saw a lot last game. You throw to second, and the runner on third would come home.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are really trying to take advantage of being aggressive and set the tone. And a lot of times on the base pass, you will set that tone, and right now you can kind of see it wearing on the pitcher out there. It's getting in his head a little bit. That aggressiveness will in turn lead to some more team baseball with guys at the plate. Just putting pressure on that defense is key early on here, especially with these guys in their first game here.
Suzuki lobs a curveball over the plate for a strike. Good break on his pitches. And it's really been the base running that has set the tone, because these guys have had to be on their toes on the base pass. In this game, they've shown that so far, and it certainly was the case in that first game of the day, 11-7, which was the final score. The Lumberjacks taking down the Alberta Grizzly. So 2-1 the count. Suzuki deals. Like a changeup. Just missing the inside part of the plate. And it's 3-1. One more ball loads the bases for a dangerous-looking hitter in Bill Pearson.
Yeah, he certainly wants to go right after him here and at least get one out on the board before facing Pearson.
The 3-1. Just a bit inside, and bases are loaded for... We don't know if he's the best hitter just yet. The CWL just started, but he's certainly the biggest man on the baseball field.
He certainly is, Josh. He looks like a G.I. Joe figure. To kind of paint the picture, this guy has power for days. Light tower power is what they would say. This guy can hit it a long way if it's in his wheelhouse. We'll have to see what his bat-to-ball skills really are, though, because that's the true measure of a hitter is how well you're actually able to channel that power.
And he powers a ground ball to third base. Could be a double play ball, but the second baseman has trouble getting it out of his glove. The throw goes past the first base bag. One run scores, and a second follows through on what's going to end up as a fielder's choice and an error on the second baseman. Now, we'll have more chance to talk about that power of Bill Pearson, but he does get the job done. A hard ground ball scoring 2 runs, and just like that, 2 runs the lead for the Palm Springs Children.
Number 36.
Yeah, and that could have been avoided there by the A's. It looked like Chris O'Neill there, the second baseman, coming over to the bag. He kind of hesitates and bobbles the throw from the third baseman there on the feed. He'd like to have that one back, but unfortunately that bobble and the mishandle allows Pearson to reach base.
So Pearson is on first. Pollock scores on the error. And Gavin Jones is back in the dugout as he is the first out. So Suzuki now is allowed 2 runs. And he faces a 1-0 count to Devin Fisher, the catcher. Suzuki checks on Pearson at first. Sends the pitch home. Fisher looks at it. A nice curveball catching the outside part of the plate, evening the count at 1-1.
And talk about base running having an effect on that defense and the pitcher. Same will come there with the defense. You want your defense behind you to pick you up as much as possible and make those routine plays.
Going is Pearson. We'll see how the big man can run. High throw from Traeger, but Pearson was in there safely regardless. A lot of big wheels for the big man. Fourth stolen base already this inning.
Yeah, it looks like he moves pretty well for how big he is. Some guys that are bigger like that, they'll be a little bit just tighter overall with their body, and it'll kind of slow them up, but he looked pretty fluid there on the base pass.
A high fly ball towering just short of the outfield grass. Running in and dropping the ball in the catch attempt is the third baseman, Eddie McCabe.
Yeah, so already things going south here for the A's. That's another routine play there for McCabe to make. Looked like he was camped under it, and then the ball just kept drifting back towards the field of play. He couldn't quite get all the way under it. That's one that you definitely have to have. Pop-ups on the infield, they're always stressed by coaches because they're free outs. You have to make that play.
And that would have been the second out of the inning. Instead, it's 1 out, 2 runners on base, and a second error in the inning for the Palm Springs Chill. So Blake Porter takes ball 1. And he's a guy who can play any position in the outfield, playing his first time in organized baseball in 3 years. Last played in 2019. Took a local job as a high school coach back in Las Vegas during the pandemic season, and is back here in Palm Springs to try and jumpstart his career.
Looks like they got the infield in there, at least with McCabe at third on the corner. He's also shaded a little bit more towards the shortstop's area.
The 2-0 pitch inside. Curveball misses, and the count's 3-0. Suzuki in danger of loading the bases once again. Bases were loaded for Bill Pearson. An RBI ground out, a fielder's choice for him. I don't know if that hit him or if that's a walk. Ball was way inside. Looks like it's going to be a hit by pitch on 3-0. So on to first will go Blake Porter, but that will do it for the inning. So we do roll over some innings just to save some of these pitchers' arms with games for these guys just about every day for a month. Not a lot of time to rest. So in the interest of keeping everyone healthy, allowing them to play the entire month here in Palm Springs, we're going to roll over this inning and head on to the second. But 2 runs come home, no hits, 3 left. And the Canada A's coming up. How are we looking on the stream?
Good. It's still going.
Beautiful. I don't know what you did, Mitch, but you're my hero.
All Rancho Mirage residents are invited to
That's what I shoot for.
Rancho Mirage.
You succeed, my friend.
Rancho Mirage residence day here at Palm Springs Stadium.
2 runs, 1 earned, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Errors.
Hot dogs, chips, and a soda or water. Saturday.
I'm just going to write roll in the book, or in my book, maybe something like this. Still FYI.
Oh, hey. They can still hear us somehow, some way.
Bottom of the first now. Canada A's, after a rolled over top half of the first inning, looking to climb back from a 2-run deficit. They'll lead things off with Colton Kendrick, Chris O'Neill, and Walker Pass facing the former Yankees signee in Corby McCoy, signed as an 18-year-old out of Laguna de Perlas, Nicaragua. The left-hander spent about 4 years in the Dominican Summer League for the New York Yankees back between 2013 and 2016. His first pitch of 2021 misses high and outside for ball 1. Next pitch is a fastball right down the pipe. And that's going to be enough for a strike 1 call on Colton Kendrick. Former Boise Hawk lines that one into right field. Well hit ball. And that is the first base hit of the afternoon for either team. Good piece of hitting by Colton Kendrick.
That ball was absolutely scorched, Josh. Gets the bat head out, aggressive early in the count with a fastball. He knows that McCoy is going to try to establish that fastball. Not sure where it sits in the velocity spectrum, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely firm. And he's just right on time there. Doesn't miss a beat. Lines it nicely into right field.
That one right on the screws, and right away, a base runner for Palm Springs Chill. Purnell Chaplin is the batter, not Chris O'Neill.
We'll see how McCoy works out of the stretch here. Delivers that one a little bit high. McCoy's stats there, Josh, for his career in the minors, pretty darn good. 6-1 in 59 games, 4.4 ERA, so pretty good career in the minors. Trying to get back into the minor leagues or back into some form of professional baseball.
It's not always easy for guys that are plucked out of their younger lives. He came into the minors as an 18-year-old. There's certainly some exceptions to that rule, but McCoy is now definitely got a couple more years under him. One of the older players in this CWL has a great opportunity to further his career here. The 1-0 pitch to Chaplin in there for a strike, count 1-1. That fastball on the outside corner has been getting McCoy back in these early counts. 3-1 the count now. McCoy deals. Chaplin connects on the fastball, but fouls it behind the netting and out of play.
Well, and you talk about how difficult it is, Josh. A lot of these guys, especially in his case, probably came from an area where he was just unanimously the best pitcher growing up, always the best, top of the heap, and then all of a sudden you're immersed in a ton of talent when you go out to spring training and you find yourself, I'm not the best anymore. And that can get to a lot of guys' heads. And again, like you mentioned, when you're that young at the age of 18, you're still trying to figure out yourself as a human being, as a person. And, just a mixture of all of those things can really just mess with guys' heads or, put them on a track that they never thought that they'd find themselves in. It's definitely difficult. That's why professional baseball is such a difficult sport to climb your way up in and navigate through.
So a walk dealt to Purnell Chaplin. Walker Pass takes the first pitch for ball 1. And there's so many different levels of it, and there's so much that goes into getting to the major leagues. It is not always easy to do the first time around, but you hear plenty of stories of guys who have gone in and out of professional baseball, worked their way back, and got their chance. A big name that I'm sure we'll be talking about a lot this year is Tyler Matzik, who absolutely dominated with the Braves, a guy who used this CWL as a springboard to relaunch his career.
Absolutely. Sometimes it just takes a couple of tweaks. Sometimes it takes a break from the game for a little bit to kind of reset your mind and reevaluate where you're at, come back with a different attitude. There's lots of different ways for guys to get back in the swing of things. And this is a tremendous avenue for these guys who are looking to further their careers on the baseball field.
And Colton Kendrick's going to advance to third base on the pass ball. Staying at first is Chaplin. 2-2 count to Walker Paz, a guy who has not taken a lot of breaks in his baseball career, gone straight from college to a couple of different professional and semi-pro teams, including the Savannah Bananas, which are just always such an entertaining squad. Foul back behind the netting. Count stays at 2-2.
McCoy is still trying to get that fastball by these guys, but they are definitely doing their homework on deck, and so far so good for these A's hitters timing that fastball.
The 2-2. Oz holds up his swing to fill up the count. As we had from Suzuki early on, McCoy now in danger of loading up the bases. Had an 0-2 count, but great patience at the plate from Paz to stay in this at-bat. Runner goes, and that is lined into the outfield. Coming on is the left fielder. He won't be able to get there, so it's successful hit and run and an RBI single for Walker Paz. Colton Kendrick scores. Chaplin stays at second base on the hit and run, and Walker Paz has his first RBI of 2022, making the score 2-1.
Yep, and he gets jammed on a fastball that's elevated. If I was McCoy there, I would have doubled down on the slider there, but instead he elects to go with that fastball up in the zone. Was high and tight there on the hands of Paz, but Paz does enough, a handsy hitter, to just flip it out into left field and get a run out of it.
A.J. Pollock a little late on the run, as that is a towering fly ball off the end of Eddie McCabe's bat. That is going to go into the park right next to Palm Springs Stadium here. McCabe, one of the more recent additions to the CWL, making his first appearance here with the Canada A's. 2 runners on, 1 already home, and no outs yet in the inning. A high fly ball. Bill Pearson's got a read on it, and he makes the catch. The big man in center field, showing a good command of the outfield for the first down of the inning. It's not every day you see a guy as big as Bill Pearson playing in center field, though. I think that's something that's going to keep amazing me all game long.
Yeah, not your stereotypical center fielder look to him. Pearson looks more like a corner infielder, if you will, a first baseman or third baseman. But again, like he was showing on the base paths, he definitely has the ability to run a little bit, and there he's showing the ability to read the ball off the bat, get a good drop step in, and turn and run to the ball. That'll be fun to watch, though, as we move along, Josh. It certainly
really
be
will. And for those of you who can't see Bill clearly on our screen, he comes in at 6'3", 285 pounds.
Yep.
Not a lot of guys at that playing weight in baseball these days. 0-1 pitch to Rutledge, bounces out of the glove of Devin Fisher, and that'll make it a 1-1 count.
And again, just to paint the picture, it's not a flabby 285.
No, it's
an incredible Hulk 285.
It's a pretty perfect way to describe it, to be honest. He's got the exit velocity record as well. We'll talk more about that at his next at-bat as Rutledge takes a fastball high, count 2-1.
And now you can start to see McCoy he's fiddling around with his feet. He's looking down a lot. That's some surefire signs of frustration on the mound.
Collier Rutledge, a USPBL veteran, takes that one. A breaking ball low and away, count 3-1.
And now he's stepping off the mound, another sign of just frustration and trying to search for that feel. Times like this, you might need your catcher to come out and talk to you, reset the batteries, and try again. We'll see if he can come back on this pitch. He can't. So, struggling with that fastball command.
And the fastball missing inside, as you said, Mitch, and that's going to load up the bases. Chaplin moves on to third, Walker Paz on to second, and Collier Rutledge with the second walk of the day for Gordon McCoy. We'll head to first base, and now it's Messiah Fukuda. We'll head in to try and get the A's a lead. 2 runs home in the first inning for the Chill. The A's already have scored 1. McCoy deals. Slider misses low. Count 1-0. And it looks like McCoy's got some pretty good stuff. Some nice depth on the slider. Good bite on the breaking ball, but location has been the issue in his return to the game. The 1-0. Fouled away. Well timed. Just missed the zone. Fukuda has a 1-1 count.
And it looks like Josh, he's got a good feel for up and down in the zone. Trying to find that feel from corner to corner of the plate, though. And it looks like he's struggling just a tad working from the stretch here. Looks like he's starting to find it, but this is a dangerous spot here with bases loaded. You don't want to open up the score. You want to go into that top half of the second with the lead still.
A double play is still a potential as he gets that slider over the middle of the plate. Count 1-2.
If you're Fukuda here, you just want to put that ball in play with the corners in, ideally through one of those gaps on the infield on the left or right side.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Masaya Fukuda goes down waving at a slider out of the zone, and that is a big strikeout for Corby McCoy.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that you did not want to do if you're Fukuda there. You want to put that ball in play, at least give your team a chance to score another run. Instead, he gets them with the off speed. That's a big clutch strikeout. We'll see if he can use that momentum here as he faces Brunson. We'll see if he can use that momentum to carry over into this at-bat.
And Tavis Brunson will head up. Chance to spark a little 2-out rally with a striped bat, it looks like. I'm not sure if that's tape or just the design, but that is something.
Yeah, that had me thrown off as well, Josh. I don't know if that would pass Major League regulations, but it certainly will pass CWL regulations.
I mean, I've never seen tape on the barrel of the bat before. Couldn't get the barrel on that, though. Swinging and missing, that's strike 1.
I'm not sure if it's tape or if it's the actual bat design. Either way, he's carrying a zebraed bat. We'll put it that way.
I'm going to have to ask him about that after the game. Maybe bring the bat up into the booth here as Brunson swings and misses at strike 2. A 1-2 count again for McCoy. That was the count where Fukuda went down the previous batter. And a 23-year-old out of Westfield, New Jersey.
Well, and it kind of looks like he is carrying that momentum from the last at-bat over. We'll see if he can get the punch out here.
Bases loaded, 1-2 count. McCoy deals, wave and a whiff, and that is out of there for Tavis Brunson. So McCoy loads up the bases, lets a run through, but still escapes relatively unscathed. 2-1 the score now as the A's bring home a run on 2 hits. But the Palm Springs Chiller heading up to bat with a 2-1 lead. Runs scoring in each frame so far, and Koinasa Suzuki is coming out to face his fellow Japanese compatriot, Swanjui Peng. No runs on 2 hits in the top of the first for the Chill, as Peng takes the first pitch for a strike. That's big for the confidence of Suzuki after that rolled over first inning.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how he can build here, moving into the second.
And another strike. First pair of consecutive strikes to start off an at-bat for Suzuki today.
You kind of alluded there, Josh, to the Japanese players. There's a pretty good amount of them out here. It's always fun to compare their style of baseball to what we have over here in the States.
3 pitches, 3 strikes. Peng goes down looking. Fastball in the top corner. Just freezes him.
No way. No way.
Batting ninth for the Chill.
Absolutely frozen there. Must have been expecting something else because he just stood there like a statue, and there you go.
And that's a hard pitch to track, too. Just really great location by Suzuki, right on the inside corner. That high, hard one to end off an at bat. That's the stuff that you like to see. First ball of the inning for Lenny Peters.
Shortstop, Lenny Peters.
Peters came in yesterday just for the workout for the first time. A Curacao native.
Wide open gap up the middle. Walker Paz, the shortstop, is playing deep in the hole. It's almost comparable to if there was a shift going on like you'd see in the majors.
A lot of times you'll see a guy shifted up the middle to block that, but never usually a gap like this.
This is a very unique shift, if you will.
0-1 count to Peters. A lot of Curacao natives that have made the majors, but there's certainly a following in the minor leagues, as the count is 2-1. A player in South Bend this year, a very speedy outfielder, Edmund American, a Curacao native who I had the pleasure of working with this past season. And Lenny Peters is trying to join him in affiliated or even independent baseball, as all these players are here in the CWL. 2-1 count to Peters. Suzuki deals, and that one is hit high in the air, trailing out to left field on the run, and letting it go foul is Collier Rutledge. So I'll even up the count 2-2, but good contact from Peters.
Don't have a ton of info on his background for Peters, Josh, but he certainly has the frame at 6'3", 180 pounds. There's a lot to work with there. Mechanics of his swing look very sound. He's got a very good rhythm to that load, good trigger. And again, some of these guys with a good body frame like that, you just need to fill around it. If you have good bat-to-ball skills, it'll follow.
2-2 pitch, the curveball just missing. That was a close one, and that fills up the count at 3-2.
I would say that would have caught the corner, but doesn't get the benefit of the doubt there. We'll have to repeat it here on 3-2.
3-2 count, 4 pitches that Suzuki can throw. He deals. Another curveball at the eyes of Peters, and he will look that into the glove and head to first base for the front
Now
pass.
batting for the Chill. Number 13.
Plate discipline
Second baseman.
for Lenny Peters, a solid first at bat. Xiao Pin Ho will step up to the plate, another guy who has affiliated baseball experience here in the CWL.
It's been up and down for Suzuki here at times. He's really commanding the strike zone, but that is his third walk of the day. So finding it and losing it very easily in the zone.
He finds it there again as the slider dips in for strike one. 0-1 count to Xiao Pin Ho, who played with the Miami Marlins organization back in 2017. Peters looks like he's got good speed coming off of first base, taking a relatively short lead. Catcher adjusts. Dealing is Suzuki, and that's fouled off the end of the bat by Xiao Pin Ho. 0-2 the count. Suzuki definitely does better when he gets ahead of the hitters, and he has done that on Xiaopin Ho in this at-bat.
Like you said, former Miami Marlins in their organization at least. 27 years old. You'll get a wide range of ages out here at the CWL.
And the runner goes, does Peters. No throw needed on a curveball inside. Just a phenomenal jump by Lenny Peters. And stolen bases have been a huge selling point of this game. That is the 5th already, and we're in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, really just taking advantage of Suzuki working from the stretch. He hasn't really mixed his looks, hasn't really mixed up his timing, and in turn, these guys are taking advantage of that.
He's also just kind of abandoned the pickoff move entirely. Got a couple of them in that 1st inning. Moves towards home plate, sends the fastball in, and it's fouled away by Xiaopin Ho.
Kind of going back to those ages, Josh, it'll be interesting to see how these guys mix together as teammates. You know, some of these guys are 21, 22, and then they'll range all the way up to ages 28, 29, so you have some wide ranges in there. It'll be interesting to see how these guys mesh and gel with one another as we move along this season.
And we've got a 30-year-old in the California Winter League. Oldest player here, that's Jacob Lucci. You might see in the next game if the curveball misses, evening up the count at 2-2.
But that's the beautiful thing about being out here, Josh. It doesn't matter your age. That's not going to define your baseball career. It's fun and exciting enough to just see that these guys are still grinding away their careers, no matter how old they are, for the love of the game.
And they love the game, and they have a desire to play so much that they're looking at any opportunity to play in the next level. And this is certainly a jumping-off point to that, as the wild pitch clipses the glove of Colton Traeger. And on to third base is Lenny Peters. So a full count after Suzuki started off 0-2 to Xiaopin Ho. 27-year-old out of Taipei, Taiwan. He's got a full count and a chance to extend this chill lead. The payoff pitch missing outside, ball 4, second consecutive walk for Kunimasa Suzuki.
Yeah, pulling that fastball to the outer corner there, just not commanding that pitch. Is
Number 2.
not releasing that ball out clearly in front. He's holding on to it just a little bit too long. Again, just pulling that pitch. He's not finding the feel for that fastball. He's found the feel at times for the breaking ball, but obviously that's not the pitch that you want to rely on. You want to work off of your fastball.
And the breaking ball has been hitting pretty well, though. Been hitting corners or just missing. And missing the fastball there is Chanyer Palias.
And he kind of set the tone early on. Even though he struck out, he reached via the drop third and then set the tone on the base paths. And the Chill have taken that tone and they have run with it.
I think we've got a whole lot of speed in this California Winter League. This is opening day, so still a lot more to discover, but it seems like speed on the base paths is a pretty big part of every one of these teams we've seen.
Yeah, it could be the theme of the league, especially given here at Palm Springs Stadium. Foul lines are 350, Josh, and 400 to dead center, so not a ballpark that you're going to see a lot of deep fly balls on or the home run ball.
And going past the catcher, the pitcher fails to cover, but Traeger gets back in time. What a heads-up play by Colton Traeger. Getting the out at home as Lenny Peters tried to advance on the wild pitch.
Yeah, just a heads-up play there. Suzuki needs to be more heads-up. The pitcher himself, he's got to be covering up home there, but a great play by Davis to scurry after the baseball there, pick it up, and then have enough athleticism to get all the way back to the plate and make a diving tag to save a run. So a great job by Davis there. We saw some lackluster defense there in the first inning, Davis is trying to reset what he can, at least here, and a great play there from the catcher.
And it's also big because it gives 2 outs for Suzuki now, and now he is 1 strike away from getting out of the inning unscathed. Hit it on the ground to first base. Flip back to the pitcher, race to first, and he's safe. Beating the play is Palias, and then throwing home is the pitcher, and he's out. Wow. A lot to unpack in there, and we're going to take a quick break just to digest that play. But some wild base running from the Palm Springs Chill, and they exit the top of the second inning scoreless. It's still 2-1, and keep it right here for California Winter League Baseball. So a wild ending to that first inning, or that top of the second inning, excuse me. Some really just daring base running attempts by the Palm Springs Chill, Mitch. What just happened?
Well, again, Pius putting the pressure on with his speed there. He hits the chopper over to the first. Suzuki did a great job of getting over there, but Pius simply just beat him to the bag. And then they get the out at home on the 1-2 putout. So Suzuki coming up clutch there for his defense, making a good throw home that they could handle, and they get the out at home. So some good stuff on both ends of the ball, really, there.
There really was. Just really trusting the speed a bit too much was the Chill. And a big star of that inning defensively is Colton Traeger, who was up at the plate. He got the second out of the inning after Suzuki failed to cover home on a pass ball. That one is lofted high into the outfield, into right field, and a running catch is made by Chandler Palias. So Palias getting the first hit of the ball game, and a bit of a skidding catch, sliding into foul territory to make the first out.
Yeah, great play there, showing off the speed again. Palias has really made an impact in this game with the wheels, and that's something that often gets overlooked on the baseball field, Josh. Usually it's from the pitcher or a guy with his power, but Palias making the difference with his wheels, running a long way there. There's so much ground down the lines here at this field. It is so important to have speed at the corners, and Palias provides that there. He almost overran it, but he made the play.
And in modern baseball, it seems like speed is only really valued in the steal a base, steal a taco promotion in the World Series. And I like my free taco as much as the next guy, but I think the importance of speed with the emergence of all this exit velocity and these other stats, which have really put power into the forefront, is something that is lost on a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys are just not as aggressive anymore, at least at the major league level, that is. Base running has become less of a premium, if you will, but it still is a premium in those corner spots, especially when you have a big outfield, especially in center field, a guy that needs to command the outfield. So speed will always show up defensively. It'll show up on the base paths as well as the California Winter League moves along.
And we've seen it already so far. 5 stolen bases for the Chill already. And none yet for the A's. But some smart base running on a pass ball and great plate discipline have gotten them where they needed to get.
Yeah, another walk here with one out.
Number 32.
From McFarland there. He'll try to turn the lineup back over here to Kendrick. And hopefully they can get something started here with one out. We'll see how McCoy handles the runner at first again. He looks to be almost like a one-way lead type of guy if you're a base runner. He doesn't seem to be a hang-and-read lefty. He's one of those guys that seems like he has his mind kind of made up. He's either going to pick over or he's coming to the dish. So those are always the best guys as far as lefties to run on if you're a base runner.
And lefty's dangerous with the pickoff move, and it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Is Colton Kendrick, who led off the game for the A's with a leadoff single. Now a 1-1 count to him. So he really hit that ball hard. I think a hit and run might be a good idea. We've seen a couple of those already today. See how much speed McFarland has at first base. As the fastball catches the outside corner, count 1-2.
That fastball there almost looked like it had a little bit of cutting action to it. I don't know if McCoy is purposely throwing a cutter, but that one looked to have a little bit of movement to it.
I think the Yankees farm system knows just a bit about cutters as McFarland swings and misses. On the steal and slipping up is McFarland. So a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end off the inning.
Strong throw by the catcher there, and the defense and the pitching showing up for the Chill. A great half inning there for them defensively.
It certainly was. Defense does win championships, and it's leading in the game for the Palm Springs Chill. 2-1 after 2. We are through 2 innings, and the score is 2-1 in favor of the Palm Springs Chill here at Palm Springs Stadium. A gorgeous opening day for the California Winter League and a solid slate of baseball action. We still have another game coming up after this one, but we are right in the thick of it here. Third inning, Kanimasa Suzuki is still on the mound, and he's going to face A.J. Pollock, who takes that first pitch for a strike. Gavin Jones and Bill Pearson are the next 2 hitters up for the Palm Springs Chill.
The thick of their lineup coming up here, Josh, trying to add to those 2 runs and extend that 1-run lead.
A curveball catches the inside part of the plate. 0-2 the count now to Pollock, the Harrison, New York native. Hit .251 at Hofstra and has played in a couple of independent baseball leagues upon his graduation. The 0-2. And that knocks off the shoulder of Pollock and then deflects off a Colton Traeger.
And that is hilarious, Josh, because I was just about to mention that he is right on top of the plate. I think his elbow was clipping about a third of the inner corner there. And he gets the benefit of the doubt. He's getting hit on the elbow there. There are some guys like that, Josh. They're just built to get hit by pitches. I could never do it. I was too afraid of getting injured and too afraid of just getting clobbered all the time. But some guys just have a knack for it.
Yeah, just rub a little dirt on it. He'll be all right. Runner on first base, 2-1 the score. With Gavin Jones coming up to the plate, takes the slider in there for strike 1. And you're right, Pollock really crowded the plate. Like, that ball looked like a strike, but it hit him off the shoulder there.
He didn't even really lean into it. He's kind of trying to catch if he did. Maybe there was a little elbow leanage there, but not enough.
Pollock leaning into the steal as the ball goes past Colton Traeger. He stays on his feet and goes all the way around to third. So that'll be stolen base number 6 for the Chill. And he will head to third on that pass ball. Great heads-up running, and you can hear the communication from the dugout pushing Pollock onwards.
Yeah, and a lot of good instincts there. He knew that he had the base stolen as it was, took a peek in, and then just kept on chugging along all the way to third.
So a 1-1 count and a runner 90 feet from making this a 3-1 ball game. Suzuki deals. Holding up the swing is Jones as he lets that breaking ball drop low for a 2-1 count.
Pollock setting the tone there, getting hit by the pitch. Now he's in easy scoring position at third with nobody out. Jones, Pearson, and Fisher to follow.
And you don't want to leave guys on base for Bill Pearson. We talked about his power. That's Jones. Swings and misses at a 2-1 pitch. Looking for a fastball. Saw slider.
Yeah, looking to do a little bit too much there. He kind of came out of his shoes a little bit more than he probably would have liked to. You want to just stay within yourself here. You don't have to do too much. Just make solid contact with the baseball and drive in that run.
And Gavin Jones, 27th round pick by the Oakland Athletics back in 2019, connects on that one. Almost snared by the shortstop, but that's going to escape into the outfield for a base hit. Scoring easily is A.J. Pollock, and it's 3-1 Chill as they score for the second time.
Good piece of hitting there from Gavin Jones. Just a level bat plane on time. Gets the bat head out. Hits that liner into center field. Out of the outstretched hands of Peters, the shortstop. Just a great piece of hitting there by Jones. Stayed within himself on that swing. And it pays its dividends.
Showing why he was drafted into the major leagues. No MLB experience yet. Likely a COVID casualty as a lot of teams forced to cut ties with some talented players. Jones here in the California Winter League looking to make his way back to affiliated baseball.
And we haven't even really gotten into that yet, Josh, but just how important it is for these guys to get back out here for this Winter League with COVID going on and a lot of questions up in the air. And some of these guys haven't played baseball in a while.
Jones heads for second base, slides in easily. I don't know what Kleinburn is talking to these kids about when it comes to stealing bases, but man, has it been successful. Just fantastic jumps off that first base bag from these Palm Springs Chill players.
Yeah, they all have the permanent green light as soon as they get on base. Trying to count up how many stolen bases that is. It looks like that is number 5 there.
First one for Gavin Jones, and it's a 1-1 count to Bill Pearson, who a couple years back set the exit velo record, and you can see why. He rips that line drive, but it is right to Collier Rutledge in left field. And Bill Pearson is out. An aggressive hitter, 2 hard hit balls, but 2 times he gets called out.
Number
Yeah,
36.
that's allowed out there to left. Just laces that ball out there to Pollock, who was positioned perfectly. Didn't really have to move a whole lot. So defensive alignment there aiding the A's. They would like to get out of this inning with only 1 run on the board there and keep it to just a 2-run deficit.
Got a runner in scoring position for the Chill. Devin Fisher is the batter, and the catcher takes strike one, excuse me.
Reached on that error back in the first. Error from that third baseman, Gavin Jones. That was on the pop-up. Again, the A's defense looking a little shaky here and there. Trying to clean things up as they adjust to the new field, the new playing surface. A lot of these guys coming from 10-degree weather out here to 75 and an all natural field. Some of these guys are used to playing on the turf fields as well.
And it's hard not to get caught up in how nice the weather is. That one is going to come right back close to the broadcast booth, almost hit Andres to head our public address announcer. And it's going to be a souvenir for a lucky fan. 1-2 the count to Fisher.
Need to find a glove over here for Andres. Snag that one right out of the booth.
We can make some nice plays too. Just because we're calling the game doesn't mean we don't know how to play baseball. The 1-2 from Suzuki. Take his quick look back at second base. Deals, sends the slider wide. Count 2-2. Devin Fisher is an interesting story. A guy who was drafted by the Red Sox in 2014, all the way up to Double-A Salem, before he was cut after the 2019 season. Likely a COVID casualty as well. A lot of minor league experience at the plate right now, and he's beamed by Suzuki. Second batter he's hit, really the same spot, right on that right shoulder.
Yeah, and not the way you want to see the inning extend via walk or hit by pitch. You want to get out of this inning,
Designated hitter.
you know, put another out on the board. I guess the silver lining out of it is now you get the force play, chance for a double play ball. Looks like the corners will play in, or at least Jones will play in at third.
1 out, 2 runners on. And that's Blake Porter in a space to do some damage. And it was going to be a wild pitch, but it looks like it hit Porter on the top of the foot. So 2 straight batters knocked by Suzuki. Still no one in the bullpen for the Canada A's.
Yeah, and you would think after that first guy got hit that they would have somebody getting hot and ready down in the pen, but looks like they're just going to let him try to work through the kinks.
That's Paul Nochi coming out to the mound just to have a talk with his young pitcher. Guy with several years of major league experience. Currently a coach in the USPBL.
For the Chill. Number 22. First baseman.
Well, he's put himself in the hole here. Let's see if he can dig his way out of the hole he's created for himself. Looking to just go right after G. Peng. Hopefully get a ground ball and get out of this inning.
Swan G. Peng has spent some time here in the States, but played indie ball in Taiwan as he lost that pitch just on the cut of the outfield grass. The A's shortstop Pass slides over to make the easy grab for the second out. That's a big confidence boost for Suzuki.
Yep, and that'll work as well. Ideally, you want the ground ball, but a pop-up on the infield A free out there as Paz makes the play. Just
Number 3.
on the edge of the dirt there.
Shortstop, Lenny
So
Peters.
the perfect situation there for the A's. We'll see if Suzuki can get out of it here, limiting the damage.
So 2 outs, but the base is loaded. Fisher and Porter were both hit by a pitch. Gavin Jones singled and drove in a run. He is on third base. Peters walked and was taken out coming home on a wild pitch. Tried to advance the extra base from second to third all the way home. But Colton Traeger, who just caught ball 2 from Suzuki. Traeger made a diving play to just get in front of the running player in Lenny Peters. 2-0 the count. Suzuki taking his time from the stretch, deals. Curveball catches the plate, count 2-1.
Infield playing at standard depth. Again, just trying to get out of this. Good hitters count here, though, on 2-1.
We'll see if Peters can take advantage of it. He goes for it. It's like a fastball on the outside corner, but Peters only able to get the end of the bat as it catches the top of the netting. Reflects back into play, and it's Deuces Wild on the board right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 run already home, and 3 runners on base. Bases are loaded for Peters. The 2-2. That slider misses high. Count fills up at 3-2. 1 more ball sends a run home. 1 more strike ends off the inning, leaving them loaded.
Well, this is exactly where you want to be if you're Peters. 3-2 with 2 outs, bases loaded. You know a fastball is coming here, so hunt it. Hit it hard somewhere.
The payoff pitch. Line sharply into left field, and that's going to be a base hit, and we're going to get some extra bases. Peters looks like he's going to clear him as 2 runs are already home, and coming all the way from first and scoring is Blake Porter. 3 runs home off the bat of Lenny Peters, an RBI double, and a 5-1 lead.
Well, and that's exactly what he did there, Josh. Found that fastball. He knew it was coming. Stays on time, a simple swing, a nice line drive into left field down the corner there again with how much room there is on this field. Allows all of the runners to score, and the Chill extend that lead by 5 runs.
His first extra base hit of this second game, and might be the play of the day so far, and that is going to do it for the inning. Second time the inning has rolled over on Kunimasa Suzuki. We'll see if his day is done, but first, Corbin McCoy will take the hill once again. We'll be back with more California Winter League baseball.
Now batting for the A's.
Back
Number
at
14.
Palm Springs
Second
Stadium.
baseman, Pernell Chaplin.
We are back at Palm Springs Stadium. 6-1 is your score after a 5-run third inning. Or a 4-run third inning, I should say, that rolled over, 3 of which coming on a double. And that one takes a tough hop off the third baseman in Eddie McCabe. Sorry, that's Gavin Jones. A tough one to handle.
And that was Pernell Chaplin, it looks like, who was hitting in place of Chris O'Neill as well, Josh. Yeah, and we'll go with the hit on that one. That ball was hit very hard, took a little bit of a bad hop there over a third. We'll reward him for hitting the ball hard.
Oh my gosh. You're so nice.
Now batting for the
Base
A's.
for Chaplin,
Number
who's
2.
reached base twice.
Shortstop.
Walk and a hit now for
Walker
him.
Paz.
As Walker Paz, who singled back in the first inning, is up to bat. Chaplin, one of the bigger players here, still taking a comfortable lead off of first base as the slider misses low. Devin Fisher scrambling to block that one. Haas, a South Dakota native. Played at North Lake College and in the Coastal Plain League as well. And like his opponent today, Bill Pearson, out in center field, he played some time with the Savannah Bananas.
5 games there with them in 2020. 385 average in those 5 games.
I went to go do that, turn it off.
And Casey Dill recruit coming into the California Winter League here this season.
Real good swing for the small figure that he has. Really short to the baseball. Good bat path.
McCoy getting off the mound. A slow, really the pickoff B move there going to try and hold Chaplin on first base. He's back safely. McCoy deals. Hit hard right up the middle, an absolute rocket of a ground ball from Walker Paz. And that is the second consecutive single of the bottom of this third inning.
Something tells me, just in the limited sample size that we've gotten, Josh, that he might be one of the better hitters here. Just as far as the pure hit tool is concerned. Real good with the hands there, just drops the barrel down there. Level swing plane, he's not trying to do too much, well balanced. And you get the polished product of a nice line drive single up the middle.
Muscled that jam shot into the outfield for that RBI back in the first. And now just a really well hit ball right on the screws as Eddie McCabe comes up with a 1-0 count. McCoy deals. And that's going to miss wide again. Fisher, good defense behind the plate to block that one, and he's going to head up and have a chat with his pitcher.
Yeah.
Former minor leaguers.
Yep, and a dangerous hitter too in McCabe here. He hit a ball well his last time up to center field. Pearson had to make that running grab on it, moving to his left. So a dangerous hitter here in McCabe. Almost has the similar batting stance of Ronald Acuna Jr., where he just holds the bat out and upright.
That one is hit high in the air. I might get into the gap, but a great beat on it is Chandler Pallias, who makes a nice running catch, although the runner will advance to third base. So Poss will stay at first, and McCabe is out for the first time of anyone this inning.
Now batting for the A's.
Some action going on in the Palm Springs Chill bullpen. Juan Martinez, the Cuban import, who is currently a resident of Hialeah, Florida. We'll get his first action of the CWL. That'll bring up Collier Rutledge, the left fielder, who peers at the fastball as it misses for ball one. 1-0 count to Rutledge. He walked on a 3-1 count back in the first inning before consecutive strikeouts by McCoy ended this. What will likely be his last inning. Holding it will be Fisher. Smart base running by Walker Paz. Trying to see if Fisher will throw it to second, which could have allowed for now Chaplin to come home.
And that's just way too easy there for Paz. Again, McCoy, he's not a hang and read type of guy, so you can go first movement on his pitches, making it real easy for these A's guys. And what I mean by hang and read, that's the old Andy Pettit patented. You're lifting that leg, and then you're reading what the runner is doing. That's a very difficult trait to possess as a lefty, but obviously a really good one if you can do it. Doesn't look like McCoy has that capability.
And Pettit was a master at it as the 2-1 pitch misses wide to make it 3-1.
Yeah, McCoy basically, he just has his mind set up. I'm coming to the plate here, or I'm going to show something over towards the bag. So if you can get a feel for the count and the pitch sequence as a runner, then you'll be right on time to easily steal these bases against them.
And Collier Rutledge works a walk, and that will load up the bases. McCoy had a base to give with 1 out, and he gave it up. Messiah Fukuda is up with the bases loaded. Is out once again. To talk to his pitcher is the catcher, Devin Fisher. 2 guys who played in affiliate ball for rival teams.
Trying to iron out maybe those former rivalries out there right now. But McCoy's in a spot that he similarly was back in the first when he ran into some trouble and then faced Fukuda. Ended up dialing it back in with back-to-back strikeouts there in the first. We'll see if he can come up clutch here and do it again as his outing is dwindling down with action in the pen.
A little bit of deja vu all over again. McCabe flew out in the first and third. Rutledge walked in the first and third. And 1 out in both of those situations. Fukuda came up and struck out. We might see 2 consecutive strikeouts again for McCoy to potentially end off his game. There's a strike. Fastball catches the middle of the plate. 1-1 the count to Messiah Fukuda. Fukuda, the Kanagawa native, played some club ball in Japan and might hit a double play ball. Second on a short for 1, high throw wide. So that lets a run score, and that's going to go out of play. So the runners will advance.
2 runs.
Just a disaster there for the Chill. Peters has to make a good throw there and end that inning. Instead, he sails it over the head of Pang, who had absolutely no chance to get in front of it or do anything with it. And again, the defense, these guys still trying to get acclimated to the field and all that, but that's a tailor-made double play that you have to make if you're Peters. Instead, they get the error, a couple of runs scored, and the A's are still not done here as a pitching change is being made.
So Rutledge is out at second base. Walker Paz and Purnell Chaplin, the 2 run scorers. On a fielder's choice and an E6 from Messiah Fukuda, and that will do it for Corbin McCoy. We'll be able to close his book relatively soon, but for now it's going to be Juan Martinez who will come in to pitch. We'll take a little break as he gets his warm-up throws in.
Now batting the A's, number 22, right fielder, Tavis Brunson.
So Tavis Brunson will be the first player to face Juan Martinez as Corbin McCoy has finished with 2 2/3 innings. He is responsible for Messiah Fukuta at second base, though that would be an unearned run.
Oh, thanks.
It is 6-3 the score now in favor of the Chill. 2 earned runs, 1 unearned from Corbin McCoy. 3 strikeouts, 4 walks in those 2 2/3 frames.
Obviously, the 6 runs help there, Josh, but again, just a defensive blunder there from Peters. You have to make that double play ball instead. Still a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. A chance to make this only a 2-run game or possibly even a 1-run game should Brunson send it over the wall.
The A's very much in this game, even just the fact that a swing could make this a 1-run game, as you said, Mitch, and he does it with that zebra bat. That'll make it all the more impressive.
This is the wild thing out there, the offensive version of the wild thing.
Curveball from Martinez misses. 1-1 count now to Brunson. Fukuda taking a sizable lead off second, where Martinez isn't even shaking a second look. 2 straight curveballs, and that's fouled off the foot and maybe the shin of Tavis Brunson there to make it a 1-2 count. Martinez trying to keep 1 more run off of McCoy's stat sheet, with 2 runs already home this inning for the A's. Brunson looking to extend the inning, but he's down in the count, 1-2. Martinez takes a quick look at Fukuda at second base, who still has a pretty sizable lead, about right in between the shortstop and second base. Hit on a line out to center field, and that's going to be a base hit. Pearson is on the run. He's going to field it cleanly. Not even going to bother throwing home as Fukuda slides in safely for a run. So an RBI single for Tavis Brunson, and that makes it 6-4 with the Chill still in the lead.
And just like that, Josh, those errors will always come around to haunt you. They always find a way of biting you back. And there, another run coming across. And like we said, it's now just a 2-run ball game. And the momentum, you can almost feel it shifting the other direction now.
It was pretty much all Chill at first.
Catcher,
And the A's are storming back. 4 runs, all charged to Corbin McCoy. Just 3 of them earned as Fukuta reached on an error. So Brunson will lead off of first base, and that's going to bring up Colton Traeger, the catcher, who flew out to lead off the second. Swing and a miss. Fooled him on the breaking ball there, did Martinez. That makes it 0-1.
Traeger has played in the CWL the past 2 years as well, Josh. 17 games in 2020, 15 games in 2019.
Good to see guys that just keep coming back to the California Winter League because they know the kind of opportunity that this presents for them to further their careers, as a sharp grounder down the line goes foul from Colton Traeger, 0-2.
273 average in 2020, 280 average in 2019. So we'll see if he can extend this inning even further for the guys in red.
And he's trying to do it against a guy who is a proven winner back in Cuba, won the Serie Nacional in 2020, 2012 and 2013. One of the 2 years that he played there for Cuba. Also played in Pittsburgh and Miami in pro leagues. As that one is driven high in the air. Maybe just a big league pop-up, but it's going to fall foul. And man, that looked good off the bat.
Yeah, it did. That was a big league pop-up, if you will. Trying to look down there right now, Josh. This might be some of the most gusts of wind that you'll ever really see here at this stadium, moving from right to left. Normally, there is virtually no wind on this field, but decently breezy day here in Palm Springs, as that one kind of breezed out of play.
0-2 the count now to Traeger. Martinez looking to get out of this inning. 0-2 pitch is a nice curveball, but a little too much dip on that. I just love that 12-6er that Martinez throws.
Yeah, that 12-6 action, a slurve, if you will. Some of that action involved there. Thought that one clipped the inside, but we'll have to do it again.
It was definitely over the plate. I think it just dropped a bit too much out of the strike zone there from Martinez. Will he try again? He won't. He'll go for the fastball, and good reflexes by Fisher to keep that from hitting the backstop, even up the count of 2-2.
I feel like we've seen a little bit of everything in this game, Josh, and it's still just the third inning. We've seen good defense by both catchers, some good and bad defense on the infield, some good and bad at bats. So we've seen it all so far here in this ball game.
And we've seen 7 runs come through in the third inning. 4 in the top half for the Chill, 3 so far in the bottom half as Martinez throws ball 3 over the plate as Fisher just trying to calm his pitcher down, hoping to get out of this inning. The count is full. Brunson will be going on the pitch. Runner goes, the payoff, deals, foul. Traeger a bit out ahead of that, and here we go again.
Just a bit out and ahead. He's hunting that fastball, expecting that fastball. He did get that pitch, but to me, just a little bit like he was over swinging there, maybe trying to do a little bit too much.
Yeah, that big league pop-up that maybe had some home run power on it, just not the distance. He's certainly looking for that long ball. The payoff again as Brunson goes. Fastball just clipping the outside corner. Traeger thought he got walked, but Juan Martinez, great location on the fastball to clip the rally. But still a lot of runs coming home for the A's. 3 runs coming on 2 hits, stranding 1. This is everything that involves a ball game, folks. 6-4 the score. We are just about halfway through. So Kunimasa Suzuki coming out for what has so far been an unprecedented 4th inning. We haven't seen any pitcher go longer than 3 so far, but some action starting to take place in the A's bullpen. We will see a lineup of Xiaopin Ho begin things for the Chill. Chandler Collius and A.J. Pollock will follow him as the first pitch of the fourth inning is a strike.
Don't go Dickinson.
6-4 the score as the curveball gets in there for strike two.
What do you want to do?
7 of those runs coming in that third inning. A whole lot going on for both teams in the third, Mitch.
Yeah, absolutely. We've gotten some electric offense and electric defense at times. Again, these guys, they're really just shaving off or thawing out the ice here early on in these first couple of games. We saw that there in the first and second innings. Guys still getting their feet underneath them, and we're starting to see that now. It's starting to feel more like a regular baseball game with a regular pace to it and a regular feel from the pitchers as we move along in this game.
And Suzuki's really just getting a lot of his innings, too, because he's had 2 innings roll over on him, something to do in the Cal Winter League to try and save arms, but he's out there just throwing.
Yeah, looks like some activity now in the bullpen for the A's, so looks like somebody will be getting hot here shortly. See if Suzuki can get through this inning. That would be a confidence booster for him and a confidence booster for the A's team as a whole moving forward to show some resilience and try to finish on this outing on a strong note.
Had a great start to the inning so far for Suzuki. 3-1 is the count to Xiaopin Ho. Maybe it's 3-1 now. 2-1 the count now. Forgive me. And Ho will get another chance. Suzuki still out ahead of him there. Count evens up at 3-2.
That's actually perfect because we also would need a lot of writing.
As Suzuki looking to get the first out of the inning. A base runner has reached base. Every inning so far has a collision in the middle of the infield. We're going to give that a hit for Xiaopin Ho. Surprised anyone even got to that play from the A's. It was Purnell Chaplin who ended up coming up with the ball on a diving stop.
Yeah, first hit for Xiaopin Ho of the CWL here this year in 2022, the former Miami Marlins organization player. Just end caps that ball, but muscles enough of it up the middle there. O'Neal showing the good range as him and Paz kind of collide there. Showing the good range, but just too deep in the hole there. And a base hit out of it for Pinho.
That will bring up Chandler Palliot, the leadoff batter, who has reached base both times. Unconventional the first time around. Drop third strike, showing those wheels and getting himself on base. And then a single in the second. And just a wild inning with a couple of base running mistakes by the Chill that kind of bailed the A's out a little bit, keeping them in this game.
Oh, yes, again, Josh, another guy on my radar to keep an eye on. Another lefty, smaller lefty to keep my eye on as we move along here. He's shown great speed and aggressiveness so far early on in this ball game.
So 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Palliot's way behind that breaking ball. And that, I guess, is going to be strike three. So 2 away now on their 1 away now on the strikeout. And that will bring up A.J. Pollock. He has reached base, walking and getting hit by a pitch, so no official at bat yet for him. But he has reached base twice, stolen 2 bags, and scored twice.
Pollock might be an early front runner in the league just to lead the league in on-base percentage simply by how much he crowds the plate, Josh. His hands are right over that inner third. He almost got hit there on a ball that wasn't even that far inside. So this guy certainly is just not afraid to get hit by a pitch and do what he has to do for his teammates to get on base.
And it's not like he's a shorter guy who needs that extra space. 6'1", just likes to get close to the plate, make the pitcher a little bit uncomfortable by crowding the inside part of the plate like that. He's got a runner on. And now that is strike 2. Taking the fastball outside.
former junior college All-American too, so he's got some good experience underneath his belt for the 26-year-old. Third CWL season this year as well, Josh.
Another New York product coming out of Harrison, which is not too far from where I grew up. Not a lot of baseball players you see come around out of Westchester County. But we got a good one from Pollock here. That is ripped into the gap for a base hit. Xiao Ho's got some speed. He's going to head to third, and we'll get in there standing up. And we'll pull McCabe off the bag. And that is going to be a double in a stand-up fashion for A.J. Pollock.
Yeah, and what crowding the plate does there too, Josh, that pitch is middle to outer third there, and all of a sudden, when you crowd the plate that much, that pitch now becomes middle and almost middle in for Pollock. So you take away that outer third in crowding the plate there, and right there he shows the ability to pull that pitch that traditionally you would want to take the other way, but in his case, because he's crowding the plate so much, he's able to pull it into that left center gap, down for an extra base hit, and the Chill are rolling here early on in the fourth.
And they've got a 6-4 lead to prove it. 4 runs in the third inning, 2 in the first. And the first strike of the inning comes to Gavin Jones as he swings and misses at a breaking ball.
I think in general, just the middle of this Chill order, Josh, will be fun to watch in general. All of these guys have a good feel at the plate. They know how to work the count. They know how to work pitch sequences, and they're hunting good pitches that are in the zone. They're not chasing anything. They're not trying to do something that they can't do or be somebody that they aren't, if you will.
And you're right, that you really don't see these guys chasing a lot of bad pitches. And that's something that is really promising to see on this first day of Cal Winter League action. The 1-1, swing and a miss, might be the closest thing to a bad pitch, a slider that just missed the outside corner but crossed over the middle of that plate for the former Oakland A draft pick.
I can't help but notice, Josh, just the crosswind now. It's moving from left to right. This is certainly one of the windiest days I've ever seen out here in Palm Springs, with those trees out in left center field waving around. You will almost never see the wind this high here in Palm Springs today. We'll see if it affects play as we move along in this game and into the next one, but certainly just something that you're not used to. It's like if you see snow for the first time or something of that, if you will.
Only see snow on the mountains, and that's going to be a strikeout for Gavin Jones. Got caught looking. Tried to do a little strike him out, throw him out action, but the runner at second base, A.J. Pollock, slid back in safely. That'll bring up the big man, Bill Pearson. Guy who can be seen from probably any part of California right now. Just a massive human being.
Number 33.
Takes the first pitch, breaking ball.
Still
1-0.
Pearson.
And we talked a little about this earlier. He set the exit velocity record while playing for the Savannah Bananas not too long ago. So he's got some serious pop in that bat. He hit the ball over 125 miles an hour off the bat. And to put that into reference, Giancarlo Stanton tied his own exit velo record 3 miles an hour slower. 122 miles an hour, set again on August 10th for Giancarlo Stanton. That just shows the potential for power that we get with Bill Pearson here in the CWL.
But really for me, Josh, it's about seeing him control that swing, because seeing some of those swings that he takes on social media, I would almost compare it to like a long drive challenge guy on a golf course. You know, the swing is, just out of this world. It doesn't really look like a normal baseball swing. Really trying to show off the power. So what I'm really looking for him in this league is to see if he can control that swing and actually, make it look like a real baseball swing and apply that power there, because you're not going to go up taking the types of hacks that he takes if you care to follow him on social media or see that type of swing. We want to see a controlled swing in these guys in this league and try to develop, a nice sound swing and let the power do its thing from there.
And we've seen that so far from Pearson. 2 solid swings that resulted in hard outs. And now he's worked the count to 3-2, not lifting the bat off his shoulder. The payoff pitch from Suzuki, and that plunks him. That's going to load up the bases. It was inside anyway. That's the third batter that Suzuki has hit. And the bases are loaded once again for the Palm Springs Chill.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can kind of see it there on Pearson. The Chill players are starting to get a little frustrated. You can tell with Suzuki. They're saying, please just put it in the zone and allow me to take a swing at it. But Suzuki has come inside one too many times here. He's hit numerous batters throughout this game, and now he finds himself in the hole with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
And there is some action in the A's bullpen. Kyle Armsworthy, the Nova Scotia native, is warming up for Canada. As the first pitch to Devin Fisher is in there for strike 1. Some action in the Chill bullpen as well, even though Juan Martinez was only asked to just get 1 out in that last inning. That's Hokuto Kanai, another Japanese pitcher. He is starting to just stretch and toss out in the bullpen. Not a catcher there as the mask comes off for Traeger. Able to keep that ball in front of him, so a solid block by Colton Traeger, but still, that's ball 1.
Crucial block there by Traeger, keeping his chest upright there, keeping the ball in front, moving his feet well to keep that ball in front and prevent a run from scoring.
Even counted 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. No one home yet this inning, but a 6-4 lead for the team at the plate in the Palm Springs Chill. Suzuki deals inside again on that breaking ball. So that makes the count 2-1. Inside is really the only place he's been missing. He's been hitting his spots on that outside corner, but we talked about the hit batsman. That's really where we've seen Suzuki struggle today. So a 2-1 count to Fisher now. The former Red Sox minor leaguer for about 5 years. He hits that sharply grounded off the glove of Suzuki, who looks to throw home. No one's going to go there. And Fisher sneaks into first base with an RBI single.
Well, and Suzuki keeps it in front there, and what threw me off, Josh, is that he looked home when he had plenty of time to go to first there in that scenario. He kind of double pumped and hesitated to throw the baseball. Got a little bit ahead of himself there. Rule of thumb, know what you're doing with the baseball before it's hit to you, and he looked a little bit lost there. He kept it in front, but just found himself just adrift with what to do with the baseball from there.
And there's 2 outs on the play, so the throw to first would have ended the inning as well. It's an interesting decision from Suzuki, but everyone stays station to station, and the 7th run is in for the Palm Springs Chill. Suzuki to Porter deals, and that is hit high in the air out to center field. And it is going to be an easy play for Masaya Fukuta. But the bases are left loaded, still 1 run in for the Chill. And they are cruising so far with a 7-4 lead. Halfway home here in the second game of opening day of the California Winter League season.
That serves buyers and sellers all Designated hitter.
So Juan Martinez back out after coming in for the final third of Corey McCoy's outing. He closed the book on the Nicaraguan left-hander. 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs allowed, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And McCoy would be in line for the victory. Juan Martinez, Cuban import, living in Miami now, as that one is just hammered foul by Travis McFarland.
That was one of those, how did I end up hitting it there, foul ones. Bat head is fully extended out there, way past the bleachers down there in left field.
Got the sweet spot, though, as that was hit really hard as the breaking ball catches the outside part of the plate, making it 0-2 on McFarland. McFarland still without an official at-bat today. He has walked back in the second inning and was caught stealing. Breaking ball misses on the outside part of the plate. Count 1-2. A beautiful view from the press box here at Palm Springs Stadium. See the palm trees and the mountains surrounding the stadium, and off in the distance, the fastball misses inside. Count 2-2.
You don't have to rub it into our viewers like that, Josh. Some people are not as fortunate as us.
This is true. But I've got family listening in New York where it's less than 20 degrees, and I'm really trying to rub it in. So McFarland's caught looking at a slider. A nice pitch from Martinez for the first down of the inning.
Number 32.
Called out on strikes. Now Colton Kendrick
Colton
will
Kendrick.
come up to the plate. He singled and struck out in his previous 2 appearances. Colton Kendrick, a very interesting story. He was another guy with some MLB experience, played 3 years in the Twins system, and won a championship in the Appalachian League in 2017. And some pretty famous team members, 4 of them up in the majors or have spent time in their majors, including Brusdar Graterol, now on the Dodgers, and Akil Baddoo, now of the Detroit Tigers. That one bounces down the first baseline. We'll roll foul for safety's sake, though.
Baddoo, a highly touted prospect as well for the Tigers. He's seen some big league action. Touched on Graterol. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody, Josh, make 103 miles per hour look as effortless as Brusdar Graterol.
I can safely say for you, for me, for everyone listening, no, you have not. Just with the cutter, the fastball, I mean, every one of his pitches catches triple digits, and that is just unheard of.
Well, he makes it look like the guy, doing the pitch speed at the carnival. It's just like, here we go, whatever, just doing it for fun. But
And it probably is pretty fun.
oh yeah,
Striking out guys with 100-mile-an-hour pitches, it seems like a good time. Graterol throws pretty darn hard. I'd like to see the exit velocity on some of these balls that Kendrick hits. Another rocket into right field. Second base hit. Kendrick having himself a 2-for-3 day.
yeah, good piece of hitting there from the lefty.
Number 14.
Pretty short and simple swing. Not a whole lot of action with the lower half. Just using his hands really well there. Getting that inner pitch and doing what he can with it, driving it into the right field.
Pernell Chaplin, a late addition to this A's lineup. He singled and walked, so he's reached both times he's come to the plate. They hear the wind blowing. The way you don't usually here in Palm Springs Stadium. Flags waving, cups flying everywhere. And it can pose some trouble for Pernell Chaplin. Fastball from Martinez catches the outside corner, count 0-1.
Any Oklahoma natives out here would probably just be like, oh, this is a piece of cake. But for the Palm Springs natives here watching the game out at the ballpark today, they're not used to this, that's for sure.
They certainly are not. But it's a 0-1 count to Chaplin. Kendrick thinking about taking the steal, instead of stay put. And a swing and a miss on another breaking ball makes it 0-2.
Chaplin in good frame. Good hard swing there. Just needs to make contact with it, obviously. I like what I see in his setup, the way he uses his hands.
The 0-2. Fastball misses outside, count 1-2. And we talked about Suzuki missing a bit inside. It seems like the fastball control is on the tougher side for Martinez. Still has decent command, but he's just missing outside.
Yeah, just a tad. Takes the sign here. We'll see what he can do with 1-2.
The 1-2 pitch, fastball high, count 2-2.
Yeah, really just missing side to side. It looked like that one he tried to put a little extra oomph on it. A lot of pitchers will like to do that with 2 strikes, and usually in turn it backfires on them. You usually lose your control when you try to ramp it up just a tad.
So a 2-2 count now. 1 away, and Kendrick on first, and Martinez will send him back there scampering on the pickoff attempt. Unsuccessful. Haven't seen a pickoff attempt in a while, really. With the way the Chill have been stealing bases, and really every team, pitchers have kind of just let it fly. 2-2 count. Kendrick thought about it, instead will stay at home, and he looked back to the plate. Look back to the bag by the catcher, and the count runs full on Purnell Chapman.
Martinez is just kind of losing Chaplin here, and we've almost kind of lost touch, Josh, a little bit, that it really still here is only a 3-run ball game. You know, the A's have a lot of time left in this game as well to play here in the bottom of the 4th. They can still do a lot of damage and make up their ground.
The runner goes, and that one is lined hard into the gap in left field, and that's going to roll into the arms of A.J. Pollock for a base hit. So a successful hit and run as Colton Kendrick stands on second base, and Chapman, his second single in a row. So 2 guys who have 2 hits are on base. Another player with 2 hits, Walker Paz, is coming up to bat.
Yep, back-to-back base hits here, and now they put Martinez in a bad spot, a spot that he doesn't want to be in, at least, putting more pressure on him. We've seen the momentum, Josh, of this game shift back and forth, back and forth. It was really all with the Chill at one point early on, and it's kind of shifted slowly and slowly back with the A's. And here's a dangerous hitter in Walker Paz.
And a big chunk of that has to do with the top 3 of this lineup. 6 hits for the first 3 in the A's order. 7 hits overall for Canada. So 1, 2, and 3 doing a bang-up job for the Canada A's and Paul Noce.
Paz, another one of those hitters that I'll surely keep my eye out on as we move along this season. Just a nice, simple swing, smooth swing from the lefty. Makes it look very easy.
Martinez quickly looks at second, sends it homeward for the 0-1 pitch, and another one's fouled off. Might have been fouled off the instep of that right foot of Walker Paz. But he is down in an 0-2 hole with 2 runners on base. Paz is 2 for 2 on the day and responsible for half of the Canada A's run so far. He drove in a run on a single in the first and scored on a single in the 3rd inning. The 0-2 pitch as Martinez looks back at second base. That's a fastball that misses outside, and we could see this could be the same thing we saw in that Chaplin at bat.
Yeah, it could be here. We'll see if he can battle all the way back like Chaplin did. Just use that approach that he's not going to beat me. I'm going to go down here with a fight at the very least.
Likes that high outside corner 0-2 fastball, and they've missed both times, and that one misses wildly, deflecting off the backstop as each runner advances on the wild pitch.
Yeah, and Martinez is just trying to be a little bit too perfect almost. He's finding himself being able to get ahead early in the counts, and then once he gets to 2 strikes, it's like he's trying to be too perfect with that fastball feel, and in turn, it's working against him. He's just losing the feel for that pitch and trying to focus so hard on it. You want to just let your natural flow and natural instincts settle in and make just a sound pitch with 2 strikes. Again, he misses outside.
And another breaking ball missing the outside corner. fill up the count at 3-2, and just like that, Chaplin at bat. An 0-2 count turns into a full count. Payoff. That is drilled into right field. We'll see if Pallius can get a beat on it. It goes over his head and bounces off the wall. Haas is going to go into second base. Run scores in Kendrick. Chaplin is coming home, and he gets there standing up. Walker Paas safe on second base, and a 2 RBI double that he absolutely drilled into right field. 7-6 the score. It's a one-run contest.
Oh, just a clutch hit there, Josh. His third hit of the ball game, and that one putting a jolt into it, and with that crosswind moving from left to right, it made it very hard for Pallias over in right field. It looked like he kind of had a beat on it, and then getting closer to that warning track, just not having a full feel for the field that he's playing on and the outfield dimensions yet. It looked like he got a little uncomfortable as he was getting closer to the ball there to making the play. But again, just a huge hit from Paz, a clutch hit, and the A's have life here in the bottom of the fourth.
I'm not sure if it was the wind or the sun, but something definitely distracted Pallias there. McCabe goes swinging on the first pitch, and a tough hop for the shortstop. Lenny Peters unable to handle it. That just, I think, took a bad bounce for the Curacao native as Eddie McCabe is on first with another base hit.
Yep, it's always that third hop, Josh. You get the first two that look real nice, real easy, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get that third hop that just takes a monster bounce. And the A's, again here, 90 feet away from scoring the tying run.
Go-ahead run is on first base. The tying run is on third. And Collier Rutledge is at the plate, who has been walked twice by Corby McCoy. Martinez starts things off with a slider going east to west. And Rutledge offers the same with an 0-1 count.
The A's, too, they're in a good spot here to run at first with McCabe. Maybe start the runner, get a little action going on the infield.
Rutledge getting aggressive at the plate, and Martinez takes advantage of it. The curveball misses low. Nice 12-6 drop. Rutledge swings and misses. Count 0-2. Rutledge prides himself in his hitting ability. USPBL alum, an all-state high school player back in Sarasota. Martinez, the 0-2. Fastball misses outside, and that has been his issue for the last couple of batters. Starts off 0-2 and then misses outside with that heater.
Yep, just his Achilles heel right now. And again, his misses on 0-2 are bad misses. They're not good misses by any means. They're well off the plate, inside or away.
So another 1-2 count. Following an 0-2 count, we'll see if Martinez can change the narrative. He gets the contact. A diving stop by Peters. Fires a second. On to first. Double play. Beautiful way to end off that inning by Lenny Peters as a 6-4-3 double play keeps the Chill in front. But 2 runs come home for the Canada A's. We have a very close game heading into the 5th. It is 7-6 with the Chill coming up to bat. So for the first time for the A's this season, we have a new pitcher, Kyle Armsworthy of Lower Sackville, Canada, province of Nova Scotia. As Kumimasa Suzuki will leave the game with the longest outing in the first 2 games so far this year. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for the Japanese right-hander. Another right-hander, a Nova Scotian, in Kyle Armsworthy, with a very interesting story. His travel baseball team back in Lower Sackville in 2018 saw a car that was stuck on the meridian of a road out in Nova Scotia, and a vast majority of that team helped lift the car off the meridian and save the driver from it. A great team effort, and just a really great thing to do. Not everyone would look twice at a car stuck on the side of the road there. The baseball and hockey player at Lower Sackville will make his first CWL appearance here today. He's got a 1-1 count to the hitter Swanjui Peng, who struck out and into an infield fly in his previous 2 at-bats. 1-2 the count to Peng.
So far, Josh, my favorite thing about Armsworthy is that arm slot coming close and then a pure sidearm delivery.
Sidewinding doesn't work there as Peng gets the base hit, his first of the day, and the first that Armsworthy has allowed. Poking that right now next to the shortstop for a leadoff base hit. Lenny Peters is not going to be batting today. A new player coming on as a pinch hitter. That's Kazuya Ohita, Japanese middle infielder, replacing Lenny Peters after a phenomenal play in the field. Saved a couple of runs and ended off that 4th inning.
I was going to say, Josh, we didn't even get time to recap that. The diving stop and then the good feed and good turn from the Chill defense to get out of that inning and keep the 1-run lead.
Really was just a fantastic play as Ohira is down in a 0-1 count. I'd say that's the play of the game so far. A run-saving, diving double play. It's hard to beat that.
Oh, 100%, and it might be an early candidate for play of the season, really, Josh. I mean, a diving stop moving to your right, gets up quickly, good feed, good turn. You don't see that often.
We're going to have to mark that one down as a new first baseman is in there for the A's as well, giving chase, but letting that drop in front of the Chill dugout.
Might be Antonio Carta. Not exactly certain though. We don't have numbers, as all of the rosters will kind of fluctuate here early on. Amongst all of these teams, some of the managers try to iron out their rosters by making trades and guys swapping jerseys. It can kind of get messy and unorganized for a little bit, but we'll get all of that ironed out as we move along in the season.
The 2-2 pitch is smacked into the gap in right field, and that is going to fall. Fielded cleanly by the center fielder. Waving on to third base is Peng, and Ohita takes his pinch hit at bat into the outfield for a base hit.
Yeah, that ball just drifts away from the center fielder out there into the gap in right center field, and I was amazed with the grab, barehanded grab in center. That doesn't look like it's Fukada anymore. I'm not sure exactly who that is in center field, but a tremendous job to keep it on the bare hand and keep the runner at first base.
And again, there are a lot of substitutions coming on in this inning. We're going to try and keep you apprised of that as much as we can. I believe we have a pinch hitter as well.
Looks like it. And we're going to get a lot of early substitutions here early on with this league as these guys try to, again, just solidify their rosters, solidify the depth charts and their lineup cards consistently each day.
Runner going. Ohira was allowed that stolen base by Traeger. So that's stolen base number 8 of the contest for the Palm Springs Chill. And it's a 1-1 count. Sidewinder. That slider looks extra nasty as it's Carlos Lenos, the pinch hitter, and Carlos Lenos, the first strikeout victim of Kyle Armsworthy.
Yeah, the foul tip into the middle of Traeger. Good job of Traeger to squeeze it there. Because if that gets away, then possibly looking at a runner on first there with the bases loaded. Instead, keeps the runners where they are.
And Bonsky drills that down the first base line. Foul, though. Each runner's got a great jump on that as another pinch hitter replacing Chandler Paulius. It's Tyler Bonsky, 6'4", 190-pound outfielder out of Lawndale, California. Won the count as Bonsky will straighten out his swing, charging from the third base bag and firing home is Gavin Jones. Actually, it's Eddie McCabe, and it looks like he just missed Tyler Bonsky, legging that one out and allowing a run to score. So Ohira moves to third. Swanjui Peng is going to get the first run of the inning, and it's an RBI base hit in pinch hit fashion for Tyler Bonsky.
Just showing off the wheels there, making contact on the ground, and we're going to see that a lot, Josh, this winter. Guys running hard out of the box, fighting for every base hit that they can possibly get here in this California Winter League.
And effort is what will get these guys signed, and many a player has been signed out of the California Winter League. And the first pitch is a fastball right down the plate to A.J. Pollock. Will not be substituted just yet, as he has just one official at bat. He walked in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third, and then rocketed a double out in the fourth inning. Scored a run as well. 0-2 count. Pollock staying aggressive at the plate. He has yet to see a ball from any pitcher since that walk.
Chiller trying to extend that lead. A 1-run lead coming into this inning. Looking for more here.
Hit on the ground, but foul. Just wide of the third base line. As Pollock fighting off a breaking ball from Kyle Armsworthy.
Best case scenario here, Armsworthy gets a ground ball and gets his team back in the dugout with only that 2-run deficit. Otherwise, the Chill are really looking to put away the A's here with all the momentum in this inning.
Another foul ball from Pollock. Out of the batter's box. It's the second foul off in a row. 0-2 the count. 4 strikes thrown by Armsworthy in this game. One away. Runner on first and third for the Chill. They hold a 2-run lead. 8-6 is the score. 9 hits apiece for each squad in the second game of the California Winter League opening day. The slider misses outside for ball 1. Count 1-2 now to A.J. Pollock.
Armsworthy, decent command with that arm slot. Coming down on the sidearm. You don't see a lot of guys do that. Sometimes it can be guys who maybe started over the top and maybe working through the yips or some sort. We'll have to find out more about him as we move along, Josh. But looks like he has decent control with that arm slot. He's pulling a lot of these pitches as most sidearmers would do, but it's a pretty firm fastball. Doesn't look like he's losing too much velocity with the arm slot.
It just makes the sliders look extra nasty as they go side to side. That one there as the count runs full on Pollock.
Not a whole lot of guys in the big leagues that throw from that arm slot anymore. It's become a rarity. I guess it always pretty much was a rarity, but even more so today.
Josh Hader's really the only one that goes to mind as a walk will load up the bases. A.J. Pollock draws his second walk of the game, showcasing great patience at the plate. Sending Tyler Bonsky to second base. Holding at third is Ojeda. And now the bases are loaded for Gavin Jones.
Now batting for the Chill.
Even at that, Josh, I would
Third baseman.
err on the side that Hader really isn't even a true sidearm guy. It's more like a low 3/4, but
It's still the closest thing to it, really.
still
There's
the
just
close.
not a
Yep,
lot of guys.
exactly. Yep.
There's a pitcher in the Cubs farm system at the beginning of the year who's more like Hader in the 3/4 arm slot, but it's another one that's close enough to a sidewinder. Just always fun to see those different deliveries, the sidewinders, the submariners, things you see all that often in the majors these days. 1-0 pitch to Jones, and the 1-1 is now the case. The slider catches the outside corner, runs across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 1 run already home here in the top of the 5th as the Palm Springs Chill lead the Canada A's by a score of 8-6. Swing and a miss, strike 2, fastball up in the zone. Looked tempting, but Armsworthy blows it by the former Oakland A's draft pick in Gavin Jones. Bases loaded. Runners taking short lead. Armsworthy trying to work his way out of the jam as Jones fouls off a second consecutive fastball.
Well, the interesting thing too, Josh, as far as the arm angle is concerned, is that most guys think that that's the key to throwing off the hitter when really what is pitching and hitting all about? Disrupting timing, not necessarily the arm slot.
And that is lifted high in the air into shallow center field, drifting towards right field. On the running and letting it drop is the A's right fielder. So each guy will move station to station. And Ojeda is going to score. So an RBI base hit, just a towering fly ball.
Where's our first base go?
As some confusion now with the umpires. It looked like the bases were loaded. 2 runs may have scored. So Ojeda across the plate.
They did. Pollock is now at third, Josh.
Pollock is at third.
Jones on the high fly ball, unorthodox base hit. Still not sure exactly what they're debating on the field here. Umpires are going to get together, but we really finally, I was waiting on that one play, Josh, where we would finally see the wind be a factor in this game, and that certainly was it right there. That ball is a routine fly ball into right field that normally you make that play 9 times out of 10, and instead the crosswind brings it across, and again, not exactly sure. We'll have to iron out what exactly went on there between the umpires and the managers.
So I think they were just talking about rolling over the inning because each team is getting sent back to the dugout. Find out some more information. Get back after this. But 2 runs home for Power, 3 runs home for the Chill. And that before it rolls over. The score is 10-6.
Celebrates 3 decades as the most respected
And a pinch hitter going to be coming up to face Juan
Travis
Martinez.
Ford.
It's Travis Ford, who came in at center field in the last inning. Saw a very difficult ball hit by Gavin Jones. A true big league pop-up, but definitely affected by the wind, Mitch, as you were talking about.
Yeah, the first time in this game that we really saw the wind affect things. It is just gusting out here. So we'll look to see a couple of different subs as we move along here in the later innings. A 1-1 count. Martinez still in the ball game for the Chill on the mound.
Martinez deals the 0-2. That runs inside as Ford dodges out of the way to make it 1-2. So Fukuda's day is done. He had an RBI and a fielder's choice and an error. Also struck out in that first inning.
Ford has played at a couple of different colleges, Josh. Spartanburg Methodist College, Post University, and Barton College in North Carolina.
All across a couple divisions, as that makes it 1-2. Martinez looking for the strikeout pitch, deals, curveball, missing outside, count 2-2. Something you'll find in the CWL is a lot of guys with a lot of experience across multiple different levels. And this guy, Travis Ford, certainly a player exemplifying that quality.
And guys with gap years in there, COVID obviously affected everybody in the baseball world.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Travis Ford couldn't catch up, and Juan Martinez finally nailing that outside corner fastball for his first strikeout.
Yep, just blows it right by him. Just a little bit late there from Ford on the swing. Just couldn't catch up in time. Looks like we'll get another substitution here, Josh.
So that's Tavis Brunson, who's being replaced as Juan Martinez sends the first pitch. And that is going to catch the inside corner for a strike. Looks like Aaron Ushery is the batter now, replacing Tavis Brunson in right field.
He's quickly in the hole here. Martinez looking to pound the zone here. First 2 hitters. Let's see if he can iron out those kinks with 2 strikes.
2-strike pitch hit into center field, but a big run, a good run by Pearson, who makes that catch for the second out. He's a guy you can easily tell isn't subbed because he is a very, very easily distinguishable player.
Might be the cleanest inning working here right now, Josh. First 2 batters up, first 2 batters down.
Wind is really whipping through Palm Springs Stadium. And stepping up to bat is Connor Donahue, who replaced Colton Traeger behind the plate.
Do I dare say, Josh, I might need a hoodie?
I think it's that time.
Maybe a little too far.
I'm going to put mine on at the break here. 0-1 pitch to Donahue, 2 away. The break might be coming soon as Juan Martinez might be nearing the end of his day, as there is some action in the bullpen for the Palm Springs Chill. 1-1 count to Donahue. Fastball inside, count 2-1. For the Chill, it's Hokuto Kanai who is back in the bullpen, this time with a catcher in full gear warming up. He was stressing and tossing a little bit earlier. Now getting his warm-up throws in, and it looks like he's another guy with an unorthodox delivery. That's a great curveball from Juan Martinez, getting Donahue to go. Count evens up at 2-2.
Really fooling him there as now the sun peeks out from the clouds to provide a little bit more aid to the hitter seeing the baseball.
Martinez, the 2-2. Another curveball, beautifully dropping, going above the helmet, dropping over the plate, And Juan Martinez struck out 2 of 3 batters in the bottom of the 5th inning. So a scoreless frame for the first time since the 2nd inning. Palm Springs Chill head up to bat with a 10-6 lead. Kyle Armstrong back out for the A's, and Bill Pearson back up for the Chill. Anytime he hits it, it's going to be high in the air. A big league pop-up off the end of Pearson's bat, and that bounces out of the glove of the right fielder. So that is another substitution. It's Jesse Russo making a switch to the Canada A's for today, as he replaces, I guess, Aaron. So Talia Rutledge is now going to be replaced. It's Aaron Ushery in left. Jesse Russo now in right field.
Again, I know that wind is howling and that ball is tough for an outfielder, especially once you start running and the ball kind of bobbles as you're running with every footstep as far as your vision is concerned, but those are plays that still need to be made in the outfield.
That'll be an error on Russo in his first action, and Bill Pearson is on base for the 3rd time. 2-0 count now to the catcher as Armsworthy deals. That is hit on the ground but foul. Another new catcher for the Palm Springs Chill. That's Joshua Hines. 6'2", 215-pound, 28-year-old out of Euless, Texas. Could see a lot more pinch hitters as Hines fouls that away, making the count at 2-2. As Blake Porter is scheduled to bat next, but he will be replaced by Vince Garcia. Do much in the field. Porter serving as a DH tonight.
Swing and a miss on that slider, Josh.
And a strike 3. Great pitch by Armsworthy. Deceptive delivery for Hines. As Armsworthy gets his 2nd strike.
I have to do my best sub-in for your play-by-play as you deal with these substitutions. It's going to be difficult here early on. Obviously, first game of the year, these guys aren't concerned with winning a championship all in one day. A lot of time left to go in this league as we move along into the month of February. So just trying to give reps for all these guys, and that's why these guys are all out here too, Josh. They're here to get reps. They're not here to get, just into the thick of things right from day one. They all need to get reps. These guys are all trying to get professional contracts. That's what it's all about. So give everyone as much exposure as possible along the way.
And Pearson was on his way to second, but that's fouled off by Vince Garcia. So the count is now 0-2.
Yep, 0-2. Again, the Chills still having some of that momentum. The A's have fought their way back in this game at times and made it look close, but they're still trailing by 4.
And another strikeout for Armsworthy. This time he gets Garcia down looking. We have another pinch hitter coming up for the Chill. That's Justin Van Weigerden.
Now back for the Chill. Number 8, Justin Van Weigerden.
And that one hit Van Weigerden, the first pitch he sees in the CWL. He will head to first base and hit by pitch.
Just trying to get all these substitutions correct.
Number 20,
Some
Ohira.
momentary pauses here late in the game, but yep, just trying to come inside a little bit too much there from the sidewinder. The Chill again, looking to put some more insurance runs on the board.
And the first pitch to O'Hara is rocketed out into shallow left field, making the run and a diving play to make the catch. Aaron Ushery ushers the ball into his glove. What a play by the left fielder to end off the inning. 2 strikeouts and a diving catch. Some great defensive plays in this one. And it's 10-6 heading into the bottom of the 6th with the Palm Springs Chills in the lead. A new pitcher and a new hitter, Adrian Pizzana, who one of 2 Adrians in the Cal Winter League, has dubbed himself AP as he swings and misses his strike 1 to another new pitcher, Akuto Kanai, getting his first action of the 2022 season, working really quickly off the mound with a sidelining, almost submarine-like delivery. He's thrown 2 strikes already to the Ligonier, Illinois native in Adrian Pizzana. Slider catches the outside part of the plate. We got no time to talk with Kanai. Quickly, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 out to Adrian Pizzana. Now bring up Cornell Chapman, who's moved to first base.
We talked about how rare it was to see sidewinders in today's game, and right off the bat, though, we're seeing 2 of them in this ballgame.
And Chaplin hits that one high in the air down the right field side, and that's going to go out of play. and foul bouncing towards the batting cages down the right field line.
Kanai definitely drops down even a little bit lower, but that ball just staying kind of on that same plane, almost like most balls obviously have that downward plane. His almost has an even plane with the release point.
Jack Allen is in the on-deck circle there as that one misses for ball one. County is up at 1-1 to Chapman. I want to apologize that we mistakenly labeled him as the second baseman. Still working to get the official roster change. It said Chris O'Neill, not listed on the A's roster. So Chapman, a new addition to the CWL this season. He was here last year. Able to get back and play at first base. Hit on the ground to second base, a slow roller, and a fire to first for the first out. That is Carlos Lenos who makes the play at second for the first out of the second out, of the sixth inning. And we'll bring up Jack Allen, who will replace the second baseman.
Number 11, Jack Allen.
Jack Allen also can pitch, Minnesota native, 21 years old, on the younger side, and hits that ball as hard as we've seen it today. It's a Pearson at center field, so a very quick inning for Hokuto Kanai. Impressive from the young Japanese pitcher on the mound. Getting 3 quick outs for the Palm Springs Chill. We are through 6 innings. It's the road team in the Chill leading 10-6 over the Canada A's. And Carlos Lenos struck out in his first at-bat as a pinch hitter. As the inning rolled over back in the 5th inning, will quickly get his second at-bat of the game. He's made a nice fielding play in that first inning. Hard swing and a fastball from a brand new pitcher in Ben West. Juan Martinez finished some things off for the Chill. Kyle Armsworthy pitched the last 2 innings in pretty dominant fashion for the Canada A's. Rolled over the 5th inning, but that 6th looked really good with 2 strikeouts for Armsworthy. 2-1 count to Lenos, and that misses outside the slider. is 3-1.
Ben West, 4-pitch mix guy, 4-seam, 2-seam, curveball, circle change. Pretty standard. Just misses inside.
Carlos Lenos, 5-pitch walk, gets on base for the first time. That will bring up Tyler Bonsky. Drove in a run in the 5th inning, starting a 3-run barrage from the chill. That extended their lead, gave them a bit of a cushion. Got a speedy runner on first in Lenos, the middle infielder, primarily a second baseman. Some speed in between the base paths as West misses with a fastball at 1-0.
At this point, Josh, it's safe to say late in the game, probably the biggest theme of this game has been too many walks, too many hit by pitches as we've moved along. Decent amount of balls hit in the play of field, but a lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitch, but that's to be expected from these pitchers here in these early goings as we just start up the year here on opening day for the CWL.
The payoff pitch, Lenos is running, and he is safe with the stolen base, and that's been another theme of this game. 9 bags stolen by the Palm Springs Chill. Carlos Lenos getting his first bag of the season.
The guys are certainly not afraid to run. Watching the catchers go through their pro-style workout yesterday, getting pop times. Most of these guys sitting around that 2-2 range for a pop time, which is about average.
And he gets him looking. Ben West, a nice curveball down the plate. Getting Bonsky looking, and that'll bring up A.J. Pollock.
Now batting the
The
two,
only starters
number 29,
still remaining in this contest.
A.J. Pollock.
And when you get a 2-2 pop time, combine that with a guy who's not moving that quickly to the plate, you're going to see a lot of stolen bases. So I think that's going to be a common theme for every game here in the CWL this year.
A.J. Pollock stepping into the batter's box as the wind continues to pick up here at Palm Springs Stadium. We're in the 7th inning of our second of 3 games here on opening day of the 2022 California Winter League season. I'll be moving to color commentary spot, and our PA announcer Andres Tejeda, can't even think straight, is going to be joining me in the booth as Pollock grounds it to shortstop. Ushery fires it, a nice pick and a scoop by Pernell Chaplin, getting Pollock out at first base. Great fielding play by the big first baseman.
Yep, and Chaplin there, he gets kind of the in-between hop. That's the toughest one. You want either that long or short hop to make it easy. He gets the in-between one there, uses his body well, works with the glove into the belly there to corral that baseball for the second out.
First pitch, hacking for Jones, and he sends that foul to the right field line. So plenty of fans out in the California Winter League in Palm Springs Stadium, catching some baseball. That's something we're all in withdrawal from with the lockout. Definitely happy to be calling baseball here at Palm Springs Stadium. One pitch misses low, ball 1-1.
Wouldn't be surprised either, Josh, if we see some more fans trickle in for our third game of the triple header, being that it's a Friday and getting later in the afternoon as we move along.
So the count is even at 1-1 to Jones. Definitely would like to see everyone come out to a game here at Palm Springs Stadium. Tickets are available at our website or walking up. General admission tickets are just $10 for adults. Get more information at the California Winter League website or follow us on social media. And we hope to see you at the ballpark all season long. Fastball inside. A nice pitch from West there. Fumbles Jones, giving up the count at 2-2.
Well, one thing too, Josh, just me personally being out here during the summertime as well, the community really rallies around the CWL at the hour in the summer. So great community atmosphere. The people around town love coming to the ball games. It's a great family fun atmosphere. Just Very easy going, great prices as far as the ticketing, great prices for the merch, and at the concession stand as well. So just a great all-around ballpark experience. Again, very family friendly, and just a great time out here. Will be for many days here.
2-2 pitch goes behind the catcher, and an unimpeded run home. Carlos Lenos slides in safely, and the Chill extend their lead on the wild pitch. 11-6 your score.
Should be a pass ball there on Cole Trader. Just didn't squeeze it hard enough, allowing that easy run to score. And again, right now the Chill are kind of putting this ball game out of reach. The A's are always just kind of right there, and now it's just being pulled away from the 5th inning on as the A's have gone quietly offensively.
Still defensive at bat coming from Gavin Jones, showing that affiliated ball experience. Fouling another pitch off into the netting. Now to see pitch number 8 from Ben West. The big man Bill Pearson on deck. And that one is lined hard down the line in left field, but it won't stay fair. Gavin Jones is inching closer and closer. Getting better and better contact as the at-bat rolls on. Still in the full count. He's fouled 3 away.
Good day for Jones. 2 RBIs his last time up on the single. Single back in the 3rd. An RBI there, a stolen base.
He thought he had a ball 4, but instead it's strike 3. Ben West fans his second batter of the inning. And that will do it, but not before a run comes home for Palm Springs. So a comfortable 5-run lead for the Chill. A's have last licks. It's 11-6 heading into the final frame. Akudo Kanai back out there for the final frame. It's not a save opportunity for the Japanese right-hander. Antonio Carta is up at the bat for the A's. Carta replacing Walker Paz. Playing third base in the last inning, and that one's drilled into left field, but an easy run for A.J. Pollock for the first out of the inning.
Just kind of hangs up there. And some good work here from Hakuto Kanai. He is set down. The first 4 hitters that he has seen, 1 strikeout back there in the 6th. And working really quickly too, getting ahead of guys.
And next up to the plate as Kanai sends that one wide is going to be Jesse Russo playing in right field on the substitution as he swings and misses for strike one.
Yeah, Kanai again says that he throws 4 pitches, but most of these sidewinders, it really only ranges from about slider to fastball to sinker.
Jesse Russo takes ball 2, count 2-1 to him.
Number 9, Jesse
So
Russo.
another Hofstra alum has played in multiple independent baseball leagues, multiple different colleges in the state of New York as he takes the slider outside for ball 3. 1 count to him. Played back in the CWL in 2019 as well. Kanai deals. Russo lets it go, flips the bat towards the dugout, and heads over to first base for the first base runner of what could be the final inning.
Yeah, it would take a lot at this point for the A's. At this point, this game is about signed, sealed, and delivered, but a lot to take away for both teams. A lot of walks and hit batsmen. That's kind of been the theme of this game. Some good defense at times, but you need consistent defense, Josh, as we move along throughout the next couple of weeks. You want that consistent defense. That's going to put you in good spots to win ball games. You can't just have it be a flash in the pan kind of moment. You need to make those routine plays, which we saw a couple of them were missed really early on in this game, and some have been missed as the game has gone along. So teams that need to come out here and want a chance at the championship at the end of these couple of weeks, they need to play consistent defense.
We've seen a couple of great defensive plays as Tajard Kimbrough, another pinch hitter, takes strike 2. You're absolutely right. I mean, we saw a lot better defense as the game went on for the Chill, and that's when they were able to hold their lead, really back their pitchers up defensively.
Kind of looking at the walk numbers here, the A's have walked, it's like 5 times that I can count. Chill have walked, it's like 7 times, and that's not even counting the hit by pitches in there.
Still the first day. All these guys are really shaking out counter rust, and with the quality of players that we have in this league, you can only expect the quality of play to improve.
Absolutely, and these guys are also coming fresh off of a long day yesterday. We haven't really talked about yesterday a whole lot, Josh, but these guys were taken through a pro-style workout, and it was a long day yesterday for these guys.
And that is hit on the ground right to short. This could be a double play on to second for 1, and that's going to skip past the glove of the first baseman in Justin Van Weigerden. Looks like Kimbrough had already made it to first anyway, so it would have been a double play. So we won't give an error on that one. Instead, just a simple fielder's choice.
Now batting for the A's, number 6.
But yeah, a long day yesterday for these guys, Josh. With how many players we have, that's just naturally going to take a lot of time to go through a pro-style workout. Wanting to see every guy, take live batting practice and throw from the outfield, throw from the infield, catcher pop times, pitchers throwing off of the mounds. We have over 120 players here or so. That's naturally just going to take a lot of time, and the sun was beating down yesterday. So, but that's baseball, That's just naturally how this game is. It's a grinder of a game. Long days, long nights, and long workouts, and that's where some of those terms, dog days of summer and things like that, come into play. This game, even though it might not be the most physically demanding game compared to football or basketball, these long days, it'll wear on these guys mentally and physically.
As Travius Ford takes another pitch for a ball after a wild pitch sent Kimbrough to second base. That count is 2-1. But everyone always talks about how long games are in baseball, but that's part of the beauty of it. That's part of why it's such a challenging sport to play, because, as you said, it's just all about grinding through it. And we have got quite a grind ahead of us at the beginning of this CWL season.
Yeah, no stopwatch attached to the game of baseball. It's one of the things that makes it such a beautiful game. You know, I know MLB they're trying to work out the kinks of their pace of play. A lot of new rules have been tried. That bat is shattered.
Sawed off Travius Ford, a slow roller to shortstop, unable to make the play, and it's going to be a broken bat base hit for Travius Ford.
I don't think he had a chance there, even if he feels it cleanly. That bat is just sawed off at the handle.
You can see it is almost cut directly in half.
Now
The
that
thinnest part of the bat for
number
Ford.
8.
And Aaron Ushery
Aaron
has a chance
Ushery.
to start a late rally. 5 runs the deficit. The Chill have scored in 5 of 7 innings. While scoreless in the last 2, thanks to Udo Kanai and a little bit of Juan Martinez, are the A's. First pitch in there for a strike to Ushery, who made a great diving play out of left field and off the inning back in the 6th. That one is hit high in the air. And Pearson goes to ground, makes the catch.
What a way to end a wild game in a lot of fashions there, Josh. Lots of peaks and valleys to that game.
That's it.
The Chill go out on a high note there.
And that will do it for the game. 11-6 is your final score. The Palm Springs Chill get their first victory of the season.
One error.
And America is victorious over Canada for the second game in a row.
6 runs.
Palm Springs Chill 11-6. Each team's with 10 hits. An error for the Chill, 2 for the A's. And that will do it for the action. Don't go away though. We will be back in just a few short minutes. Close to about 30 to 40 minutes until we have our final game of the day, which will once again be streaming on our YouTube channel. For Mitchell Glessner, I'm Josh Sperber. Thank you so much for tuning in to the California Winter Baseball League, and we will be back with more baseball here from beautiful Palm Springs Stadiums coming up.